Hello and welcome back. Well, one of the more common comments I receive is, can I safely delete Linux and keep my Windows operating system? The answer is yes, you can. It is generally very easy, although I can't imagine why you would want to delete Linux. Never mind, I'll move along. So I will show you the steps I've done in the past. This is 95% safe, maybe 99% safe, I dare say. But that being said, a couple things. First of all, have a backup of your Windows operating system. You should always have this no matter what. Secondly, if you do delete your Linux operating system, why not try another Linux distribution? There are many choices. I generally recommend operating systems from Linux that are labeled LTS as a general rule. And finally, if for some reason you messed up or something went wrong, don't panic. As long as you have a backup of your Windows OS, you can go into the command prompt, into the terminal, with these commands to fix the bootloader for Windows. Now, generally, I don't like to use terminal commands. I've often joked that my favorite terminal is the Orlando International Airport. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, the first thing you need to do is download and install a free piece of software, EasyBCD. This has been around a while. This is what I've used in the past, really going back to Windows XP, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. Okay, so from here, go down to BCD deployment. Make sure you highlight install Vista BCD Boot Manager Bootloader. Don't touch anything else. Usually, don't touch anything else here, and just click Write MBR. Click that, and if you're paranoid, click it twice. Now, if you wanted to, I suppose you could just stop here, and you may have to go back into the BIOS for a little bit of tweaking. But once you do this, when you reboot, you'll go straight into Windows. You will no longer see your Ubuntu Linux or Linux Mint or whatever you had installed. But the goal here is to delete the Linux partitions. Now, on this desktop PC, I'm happy with what I have, so I will not go through the entire deletion process because my system works fine. Of course, if I deleted my Linux, I'd have to reinstall it, and I don't want to do that. So from here, let's go into right-click here on the Start button, Start menu, whatever you want to call it. Let's go into Disk Management. Now, your setup, your hard drive may be partitioned, may be split up differently than mine. But let me go through this rather quickly here. Okay, to the left, I have what's called Healthy Recovery Partition, EFI System Partition. By the way, this is a Gateway PC, so it says Gateway and NTFS, Healthy Boot, Page File, and all that. Primary Partition Healthy, Primary Partition Healthy, Recovery, and Recovery Partitions. Unless you want to completely wipe out your hard drive and start clean, you do not want to delete this. Anything that says Recovery, EFI, NTFS, you don't want to touch those as a general rule unless you want to start completely clean. But if you do that, that's generally not good for beginners to this. So once again, if it says Recovery, EFI, NTFS, don't touch those at all. Now, if I was going to delete my Linux partitions, I would delete this and this. From here, I would right-click, delete volume, and right-click, delete volume. Now, from here, I do believe you would have what's called unallocated space. Now, you could delete that, or you could leave it for a future install of Linux and using that as free space. If you don't want to do that, just want to, just swipe it out completely, you would go into, I believe here, if I was going to do it, I would right click, and then I would want to extend the volume, and that would bring this back into one whole partition of my hard drive, no longer with Linux or no longer with any free space. After that, I probably should defragment my hard drive. And guess what? That's it. That's generally how, at least how I would delete my Linux partitions safely and keep my Windows 10 operating system intact. Now, most modern computers have recovery partitions, a separated portion of the hard drive of the original operating system, whether it be Windows 8 or 10. In case you mess up, you can boot back into that to fix whatever you may have possibly messed up. And once again, you may have to use those command prompts that I showed you at the beginning. But that's it. That is a quick and easy way to delete Linux and keep Windows. Now, once again, hopefully you already know how to go into the BIOS and do all the necessary tweaking, such as, let's see, disable secure boot, disable fast boot, I think enable legacy mode, and then maybe go into the boot order section of the BIOS and make sure Windows is on top. I think that's all I had to do in my BIOS and my system. Yours may vary. But other than that, that's how to generally safely delete Linux and keep Windows. If you are running Windows 7 or Vista, you will not have anything labeled EFI because Microsoft didn't have that feature back then. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions or comments, or if I missed anything, please let me know below in the comments. So I hope this helps out you folks who wondered how to safely delete Linux and keep Windows. Please make sure you have a backup somewhere, somehow, of the operating system, just in case something goes wrong, or just in case you mess up. Yes, I did mess up once in the past and had to go into the command prompt, into the terminal, and type in some commands to repair the bootloader. But once I did that, everything was fine. Alright, that's it for this. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you haven't already, subscribe and consider supporting this Total OS Today technology channel. As always, enjoy your technology, and please don't text and drive. Be safe.